Good evening. Welcome back to the second segment of the Glazov Gang. Our gang members this evening: Dwight Schultz, who played Murdock on NBC's The A-Team; Georgette Gelbard, a partner with the Project Oasis.org, an initiative that fights Islamism and Sharia at home and abroad; and Tommi Trudeau, a producer of films and music videos and an unapologetic leftist.
Salute.
Salute.
That is also friends with Nani Darwish. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Glazov Gang. We discussed the Zimmerman case in the previous segment and all the political correctness which is connected to that phenomena, and also the racial hatred involved and the way that the media is biased, etc. And we also see this with Sharia on our territory. This is how I'd like to begin this segment. Her name is Shaima Alawadi. She's a young Muslim mother, Arab mother in California that was recently killed. At first, there was some rumors, or whatever you want to call them, going around that she was killed by some kind of racist anti-Muslim person. And there was supposedly a note found next to her, "Go back where you came from." This is turning out to be perhaps a Tawana Brawley-style hoax here, because all these Muslims throughout the world and Muslim women came out with their veils supporting this woman against racism, etc., etc. Now it's turning out it's all a hoax. This is an honor killing within the family. My point is the media disappears immediately, and for some reason all the Muslim women and all the Muslims that did come forward are all of a sudden not interested. If a Muslim woman is killed by quote-unquote Islamophobes, everybody's interested. If she's killed by her own family for an honor killing, nobody wants to say anything. Tremendous double standard, a brainwashing in our own society, I think, a fear, a certain Stockholm syndrome, I think, that we've developed. Tommi, how do you see this? As a person, I think that's also fighting for human rights throughout the world.
Yes, I'd say it looks like she could have possibly been killed by her husband, and the people are fanning the hysteria of so-called Islamophobia.
But why are those same people all of a sudden not interested in this woman if she's killed by her Muslim husband?
Because it doesn't serve their agenda.
Right.
And what I would say to my fellow liberals is we used to take the stance that you're free to believe whatever you want to believe. Just don't force it on me, and for crying out loud, don't bring it into politics. Now I think a lot of my fellow lefties have collectively lost their minds and are almost fighting to establish some sort of weirded out theocracy. And I think, my goodness, when the Catholics tried that, when the Baptists tried that, you freaked out. Why are you taking up the cause of radical religion now?
Tommi, I don't think your leftist friends have lost their minds very recently. I don't know if the left ever had its minds, because throughout the whole Cold War, they defended and exonerated and tried to whitewash the mass murderers, Mao, Stalin, the North Vietnamese, Castro, what have you. Go ahead, Georgette.
I think that the Muslims who were coming out, the Muslim women who came out and were outraged, etc., I think that on some level they probably think, well, she probably deserved it, if that's what happened. And in terms of the media disappearing, I think it's just become, unfortunately, one of those things like, another honor killing. Nobody's really that interested. If you see it in the newspaper, there are people like us who are sick every time we see it, and it's always bad. But most people would look at it and go, "Oh my God, an honor killing! Well, that's their religion. That's what they do over there." And
And as Tommi is saying, doesn't serve their agenda.
No, it
right?
doesn't.
Because the same way, if an African American is killed by another African American, and that's what's really the epidemic in America, Sharpton and Obama and Eric Holder don't seem to be interested. But if it's allegedly done by a white Hispanic, all of a sudden it's their agenda. The same with a Muslim woman being killed allegedly by an Islamophobe.
Right, and you know what seems to be going on in the left that I'm just astounded by, because we never did this.
And that's why you're going to leave the left soon.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be a lefty forever. Well, anyway, this is the insanity that's going on with us. We need therapy.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Okay,
yes.
listen. We get up and we speak about women's rights, but then if we seem to turn right around and say, "Oh, you're Muslim, you should accept your culture."
I know, but if
It's
this
insane.
is what, but that means that if you're doing insane things, it means your movement is insane. So therefore, you should leave your movement.
Well, I don't think the movement is insane. I think
You think there's insane people
Yes,
in it?
I think there's some crazy people right now that we need to kind of weed out because they're bringing in all these agendas that have nothing to do with what we fundamentally believe in.
But what you fundamentally believe in is exactly why the left is acting like that. But we'll argue about that again. Okay.
You see, I believe that this is, and it is a belief, that this is far broader. We have to look at this in a broader context. Recently, the FBI has removed Islam from its field manuals. You can't criticize Islam. You can't talk about it. The agents aren't going to be taught about the religion. We can't say anything derogatory about the processes within a political religious institution that kills.
We can't talk about why
Nadal.
we can't talk about why Nadal Hassan killed 13 American soldiers
That's
at
right.
Fort Hood.
That's exactly right. We have to, and there is this unspoken alliance with the real left and Islam. There is no question about it. There is an unspoken alliance, and perhaps there is even some real understanding. The Muslim Brotherhood just came into the White House. We don't know what went on there. We do know that that one of the individuals who came in was accused of child pornography, but was told, "Oh no, let him in, because he's going to come to the White House." And we're going to bring these individuals into the White House, even though we know precisely what their intentions are, even though the FBI has it on tape, that their desires are to bring down this country. Mm-hmm. That's their intention. But we're going to talk to them because we've always talked to
Dwight,
revolutionaries.
Now, not to put words in Tommy's mouth, but
Right.
he might say, Obama just hasn't thought this through. Do you
Nonsense.
think Obama is acting out of naivete?
No.
Or out of a hatred for the United States?
No, he wants to bring down the United States as it existed.
Mm-hmm.
He's appointed individuals who have stated categorically that their intention is to bring the system down. Van Jones said in Storm, the document, I forget what the acronym stood for, but the radical organization Storm. They said on their purpose page, it was to stop and bring down the imperialistic, murderous United States. Mm-hmm. He's appointed by this president. Mm-hmm. He's going to bring the whole system down. And this president has appointed other individuals who have also basically said the same thing.
Well, thank you. Okay,
let me answer that real quick.
Okay, and then we'll
I do not at all believe that President Obama doesn't think. I believe President Obama thinks everything through. I think he's one of the most intelligent people that I have ever seen on television. I would love to meet him. However, this is what happened to me with.
You're about to get kicked out
No,
of the
listen, listen. Okay,
Really skating
Mr.
on
President, I love you. I love you. But this is what happened. Listen to me. This is what you did to me. This is what happened. I voted for you. I wanted hope. I wanted change. I wanted no one to be scrubbing the floor for slave wages anymore. And then listen. Then you get in office and you go all anti-colonialist on me.
But you didn't know this about him
Yeah.
before? Okay, just a sec. So this is, again, you think that they're acting insane.
That's where I
but the
didn't think it
movement is
through.
insane.
That's where I didn't think
but,
it through.
But wait a minute. Do you think that Obama has the Muslim Brotherhood in the first two rows in Egypt and Cairo
exactly.
because he's naive or because there's some destructive intent here?
He
You think he doesn't know who he's dealing with?
What he's doing is he's pursuing his anti-colonialist agenda.
Okay.
And that's different from what he promised me when he was running. If he would have
He said he's going to transform the United States of America.
But I thought for the greater good of the person working their behind off every day for slave wages who can't pay the bills, that's what I thought he was going to do, not this anti-American, anti-colonialist thing.
Georgette, go ahead.
Obama's been campaigning very hard to get the female vote. I don't understand how he reconciles his admiration and adoration of the Muslim Brotherhood and, who want to implement Sharia law as the law of the land in Egypt, and explain to his two girls that this group supports female genital mutilation. How does he reconcile that? That's a strong part of Sharia law. And he's all about the female vote. Where are your left-wing friends? Where are those women who are protesting against that?
That's exactly what I would like to know. Okay? That's what I would like to know.
Okay,
Hey,
listen,
where
you're coming
are
around-
you?
Okay, but Tommi,
what happened?
You're coming around a little late here.
Glorious
Well,
Dynam, where are
okay,
you?
just
I've been
so-
trying to call, but you're not even answering my email.
Well, the reason that they're not, though, I'm going to tell you
There's
why.
a lot. Well, just wait. There's a
Go
long
ahead.
history of this, Tommi. They abandoned the victims of Stalinism. They abandoned the victims of Mao. They abandoned the victims of the Khmer Rouge, of Castro, of the Sandinistas. This isn't new. The left has always sacrificed human rights on the
No,
altar of its ideals.
I don't believe that.
But it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. The history is there. The left did not stand up for the victims of totalitarianism.
Listen,
Right.
everything that you mentioned, all of it is a pretext. None of it is, they don't care about women, they don't care about the poor, they care about one thing. That is that they say what goes. They care about totalitarianism. That's what they are at heart. They see themselves at the top of the pyramid and you at the bottom. And they believe that when they're there and you're down there, everything will be good for them. And that they know better than you do. That's all. The reason Obama can say one thing to one group and then turn around and say something to another group is it doesn't matter. It matters to people who have integrity. If I say something to you and then I turn around in front of you and something else slips out that's diametrically opposed, I would be devastated. I would have to confront it.
we got to end this for a second.
Yes.
20
Okay.
seconds each, please.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tommi.
What's going on here with this is Bible verse. A house divided against itself cannot stand. We need to stop vilifying left and right. Oh, you're evil. Oh, the teabaggers are horrible. And I don't adhere to that term. I'm just saying that's a very degrading term. What I'm saying is it's an example. It's an example of us vilifying each other, and America will fall because of that.
That's true.
I'm going to make a complaint about who invited you on.
You invited me.
Well,
I have no idea.
Georgette, last comment goes to you on this segment.
Just that Sharia law is something that people don't take seriously, just like you talked about honor killings, and they don't realize that the threat that it is, that it's going to be here in the United States. It's here in many ways, and it's taken over Europe already.
Join us tomorrow evening for the third segment when Tommi Trudeau discusses why he, at one time, loved Obama. Join us then.